think we are. I do. I think we're getting closer on knowing, who our backups are, developing some depth. We've been able to get some quality reps in. So yes, I do think that we're stepping in the right direction there. At left tackle, I think you've seen us get better. I think it's like anything else. It's like when you put a new kid in there at quarterback or whatnot, you're going to see some great days. You're going to see some days that aren't so great. So I think we've seen some highs, some lows. But we are seeing some improvement, and that is one of the things that's encouraging about it. We've just got to keep getting better. And I still think there's some movement that can be taking place up front, and I think you'll probably start to see, continue to see that. We've been working on it in practice some, but I think that you're sensing that there could be, you got to keep these guys feeling that their job's on the line every day. You can't, and that's no different from our quarterback. You want those guys to know the biggest thing. You want to find out the best in somebody is put some competition out there. Make sure that because I promise you they're going to be focused in because they want to keep their starting job. And so we're trying to do it. And Alpha Coach Caldwell's doing a really good job of that, keeping these guys on their toes and going, this is totally unacceptable. From center to left guard to left tackle, the whole bit. Everybody's having to play and feel like their job's on the line.
So you'd say the difference between Price and Thomas is the difference between Fowler and Timothy from back right now. So
Yeah, I would say so.
Slim.
Yeah, I still think that there's still some work working on going on right there. I do. You bet.
Which receivers have stood out in your eyes this spring?
Well, it stood out in a good way and stood out in a bad way. They've all had their standouts, all right. One of the things that and I keep coming back to this, and I know it's an old hat, and I'm just repeating myself, but it's I know what you're going to do when your number's called. When the ball's going to be coming to you, you got a chance to catch a deep ball. I know what you're capable of doing. When that happens, there's some great things happening. You're seeing guys really doing some moving around, and I've been really pleased with that. It's what you're doing when the ball is not coming your way, and that has been a constant battle. It's something that we've talked about. We talk about daily. We chart it every day. We chart what we call loafs, and they have to up down because they're loafs. So if you want to, I always tell them for the first 4 steps, when I put the film on and I push play, for the first 4 steps of you coming off the ball, I shouldn't be able to tell the difference in a run or pass. And because a good cornerback is going to be able to tell the difference. So those things we're working on. Again, I think it goes back to what's behind you. Is there competition pushing you? And so you're seeing each other. You're seeing these guys push each other. We're pushing them. Coach Scott's pushing them, and we're getting better than that. But it's just kids they're going to get away with whatever we let them get away with. And if I let them get out there and we let them get away with loafing on and off the field, or we let them get away with loafing on a play that's away from you, then they're going to do it. But we're not going to do that.
When you talk about loafing and away from ball, are you looking at things like downfield blocking or anything more particular?
Absolutely, downfield blocking. I can get any. If you're here on a Division I college scholarship because you can catch football, I get that. You wouldn't be here at receiver if you couldn't catch. But what are you going to do when we're running the ball? Because we're going to be a balanced football team. So I want somebody that's going to be downfield, throwing on a safety, trying to throw a touchdown block. That's kind of what we're after.
I would say that these guys are trying to put themselves out there so you'll remember them when these other guys get here in the fall. With that said, how easy is your offense to pick up for some of these freshman wide receivers, and do you foresee that they can contribute right away?
I believe you're going to have some guys step in and contribute. Do I think right away? I think through camp, through the just the teaching process of understanding what we're after. Just kind of a role player maybe early on. You're going to see some guys that are going to push each other. And then at that point it's going to be our job, or my job as a play caller, to make sure that we don't overcomplicate it to where that we don't have our best 11 on the field. That's one thing I can promise you. We're going to have our best 11 on the field. They may all be freshmen. They may all be seniors. But the best 11 is going to be on the field.
How many restrictions are there on you as far as what you can send? I mean, The freshman receivers, Sammy Watkins, I guess,
Yeah.
it's an opportunity to play right away. Can you send him practice tape in June?
We
July,
could, yeah, we
if you
could,
wanted to?
we could, but what
Play
we're
for
gonna,
him?
yeah, and that's a great question. What we could, and what can we send them, what can we get them? We could, you gotta be careful, you know, from the standpoint of, we've got everything on DVD. We've got, every one of our installs has been videoed. Every one of them's been burned on the DVD. There's 2 copies. There's one in my office and one in Coach Swinney's office, and that's it. Because
Can I have a copy?
No. Well, my wife don't even have a copy of it. And but then the reason why, and so when those kids get here in June, late June, what they'll do is they'll check them out from us, and be able to watch them. I'm just real reluctant about handing stuff out, and it gets, you know, they take it back home, they watch it. Obviously, if I'm if kids will bring it to me, I'd want a copy of it. Well, they'll bring it to high school coach, and next thing you know, it's being copied, and you just got to be real careful.